How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping out another video. Right, guys, I've covered this prisoner's tragic suicide twice in the past week or so. God bless him, may rest in peace. The story is actually from 2015, where he tragically took his own life at HMP Woodhill. He had learning difficulties, guys, and he wasn't coping very well in prison, and it had long been documented, but again, inadequate negligence from a prison. And tragically the prisoner ended up taking his life. The inquest is ongoing at the moment. I'm going to read the story, guys, and then I'm just going to shut up. HMP Woodhill, missed opportunities in prison death. Will anyone be able to account? No. A prison governor has admitted staff might have missed opportunities to help a man who was found hanging in his cell. Ryan Harvey, 23, was found at HMP Woodhill in Milton Keynes, Buckinghamshire on the 3rd of May 2015. Harvey, who had learning difficulties, died 5 days later in hospital. Governor Nicola Marfleet told an inquest the jail was significantly short of prison officers at the time of Harvey's death. She said of the short staffing, does it impact on saving lives, ? And she said, I passionately believe it does. She told the inquest jury at Milton Keynes Coroner's Court that there were 80 vacancies at Woodhill Prison in 2015, but this year it was fully staffed for the first time in 6 years. Whoopie-doo. Coroner Tom Osborne said, one of my concerns was the failure to share information about Harvey's frame of mind and history. Is there no way of streamlining operations? Miss Marfleet, the governor, replied, no, frankly. The governor told the inquest that significant steps have been taken to improve the treatment of prisoners with disabilities since Harvey's death. The training put in place by the prison meant that other prisoners are now looking to Woodhill to learn how to prevent death, she said. Last week, the inquest heard how Harvey had been reported as having a ligature around his neck. Now, on that note, they found him with a ligature, guys, around his neck. Right? A noose, a ligature, whatever you want to call it. They didn't fucking take it off him. He later hung himself with that very same ligature. Nick Armstrong, counsel for the Harvey family, told the inquest that 2 nurses had reported seeing a strip of cloth in his cell. He asked prison officer John Stevens, if someone finds a ligature in a room, surely the discussion about going into the cell. You were happy not to go in. Mr. Stevens said, I thought the decisions were correct at the time. The inquest continues on Tuesday. Well, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Prison Officer John Stevens, should be held accountable for corporate manslaughter, in my opinion, because you have failed. You're there to help and protect the prisoner, right? And he said there, you were happy not to go in. Mr. Stevens, I thought the decisions were correct at the time. Answer me a question, dickhead. Right? If it was your son that was in prison, right, and a prison officer walks into his cell and finds him with a ligature, right, and then he takes his own life, what are you going to say? The same thing? Oh, well, yeah, I agree, that was correct at the time. You'd be up in arms about it. But because it's not your son, you don't give a shit, do you? Simple, guys. They don't care. They don't fucking care. You don't understand, right? They do not give a fucking shit about prisoners. And like I said, there's 3 ways you can leave jail. Through the gate, over the wall, escape, fucking happens every blue moon, or a body bag, guys. And a body bag is happening more and more. 80 prisoners last year, fucking around the same amount the year before. 2016 was the peak. Right? Do you know what I mean? It's disgusting. These are people, man. People. And they've had shit lives for the most part. And before they've ever been offenders, they've first been victims. I say it a lot. I'm sick of saying it. But it says there, he asked Mr. Prison Officer John Stevens, if someone finds a ligature in a room, surely there's a discussion about going into the cell, ? You were not happy to go in. Mr. Stevens said, I thought the decision was correct at the time. What can you say, guys? Healthcare, the head of healthcare, the other day, she said that I wanted a mental health assessment on him and blah, blah, blah. That wasn't done. Well, you're the head of fucking healthcare, so it's down to you really, innit, dickhead? See, this is the thing, guys. So the prison officer, he played his part in not preventing the death, right, because he hung himself with that same ligature. The head of healthcare said that she wished that mental health assessment was carried out on him, but it wasn't. Well, you're in charge of the fucking mental health care unit. Four nurses for 800 prisoners, guys. Just understaffed, inadequate, ineffective, pointless and clueless, guys, because like I say, what's the point in having nurses? And he was on, I believe he was on suicide watch as well. This is the reality. Suicide watch should be 24/7 looking through that cell, but they haven't got the staff to do it. So what they do, they check them every 20 minutes, every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, every half an hour. If you're adamant on committing suicide, you've worked out that they come every 20 minutes or every 15 minutes or every half an hour. As soon as they pop you flat, they look, you're all right, they walk off, you string up, don't you? My thoughts and prayers are with Ryan Harvey's family. Like I said, this is nearly 4 years old in May. Doesn't make it any the less shocking, guys. There's no accountability, guys, for this. There really, really isn't any accountability at all. Nobody's heads will roll. No one will face charges, criminal charges, because of negligence and stuff resulting in the death. If you was working in a care home, right, and I spoke to somebody recently actually that ended up being charged with like a manslaughter or like medical negligence, which resulted in the death of a patient, right? You would be held accountable. Trust me, you would, right? But because it's prison, no one gives a shit. I do, and a lot of other people do, but they don't care, guys. This is how it goes. Breaks me heart, breaks my spirit. Deviled. The inquest continues on Tuesday. Well, I'll tell you straight, guys. Right, without, like I say, I know what's coming. The inquest will finish. The investigation, the inquest will finish. They'll publish the findings. And then what the prison will say is they'll say the same shit. We are now got more staff. We are now better prepared to deal with these things. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Ryan Harvey's family and friends. We fully take on board the recommendations by the inquest. Blah, 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 blah. Just hollow fucking words, guys. They don't give a shit. It's wrong, man. It's wrong. Saddens me, man. Breaks me heart, breaks my spirit. It genuinely does. Devils me. It's just wrong, man. There's Ryan. There, bless him. Young lad, rest of his life. Thoughts and prayers are still with his family, guys. 4 years on. On that note, guys, going to leave it there. Hope that things change, but systems as broken as those entering it. Leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.